Igor Shesterkin, the richest goalie contract in NHL history. 8 years, 11.5 million AAV. It comes out to 92 million total. Biggest contract ever. The next closest was Carey Price at 84 million. A couple other names, Vasilevsky at 76 million, Bobrovsky at 70 million. We knew Igor wasn't going to budge based on what we heard earlier in the season. So I know you guys are going to have a lot of spirited opinion about this one. So I'll give you the floor.
You had to do it if you were the Rangers. And like Max said earlier, I mean, credit to Drury as a GM for not only getting a pick back, but clearing Trouba's cap space to make this signing. I think you put a lot of your fans at ease. I think a lot of them were starting to sweat about the fact that he might walk, although we all knew this deal was going to get done at some point. It was just a question of who was going to be the domino to fall to make this happen. I still think there are going to be dominoes to fall to make this happen, but um, yeah, it had to be done. Do I think he deserves to be the highest paid goalie in the league? I'll say comfortably right now, I do not.
Yeah, I mostly agree with everything Nick just said. I will say I saw a tweet today from Owen Newkirk, who is a Dallas Stars guy, I believe. Um, and he basically was just saying that based on tax rates in New York and tax rates in Texas, Jake Ottinger and Igor Shesterkin are actually taking home like about the same amount of money. In fact, Igor is taking home
Crazy.
less than Ottinger. The way he broke it down, and I'm just taking this for it being correct. I haven't fact checked it, but he says New York taxes 55.70% times 11.5 million versus Texas taxes 36.49% times 8-ish million. Basically, Jake is paying around 3 million in taxes, and Igor's paying like double that. And Igor is taking home about 5 million. Jake Ottinger's taking home about 5.2 million.
That, oh,
So like if that's the case, I kind of get if you're Igor like and the agent like advocating for that because you know what the taxes are and you know
yep.
what you're taking home and you're
Yeah,
like,
like if you want me to stay and live here, then you're
yeah,
gonna
you're
have to
like it's almost like here I'll do what all the Rangers fans were doing where they compared my office monkey job to working in the NHL as a player where it's like if I just had an office monkey job in New York City, I would be advocating for like a much higher salary based on my rent and all the cost of
They're not
living
going to
that
like
comes
that
with
one,
that.
it's
Mac.
a cost of
No, they're
living
not.
adjustment.
They're
Yeah.
not going to like that.
Yeah, and if you listen to 32 Thoughts, you've definitely heard Elliot talk about this. Like I wonder if there's a day that comes in professional sports where there's some type of like equalizer amongst the states in terms of taxes, because it's becoming pretty evident that like the Florida teams always have some type of advantage. I mean, the Panthers have a they don't like nobody left because they can afford to stay. They take these hometown discounts. I
That's
don't
why
know.
everybody
Or
wants to
I
go
mean,
play
like
there.
think about Ottinger. He's probably got what, like a house on 6.5 acres with a 4-car garage, and then Igor, you're stuck at the top of some apartment building on a good day.
Yeah,
This is true. Nick, who do you think should be the highest paid goalie if it's not Igor? I'm just
good
interested.
question.
I got to go with the guy that won back-to-back Stanley Cups and took this team to a third one with Vasi. That just
Yeah,
makes the most logical sense to me.
guess that's
That's
fair.
fair.
That's to me like that's akin to a performance you would see from Waugh or Brodeur
Yeah,
in their heyday.
yeah,
It's a very
that's
fair
fair.
point.
I can't argue with that.
It's going to be wild to see how everything shakes out with the Rangers because we've been saying for a while, like we've been saying for a while now, there's going to be more dominoes that fall. Nick said that. It's not just going to be Trouba. There's a lot of guys that are playing well that maybe aren't on the most expensive contracts at the moment, and you're going to have to pay them eventually. Um, I wonder too, and this is the last Rangers thing I'll say, and then I'll toss it to Mac to wrap it up. Is Laviolette, is that seat getting hot a little bit?
That's the next domino to fall for sure.
Oh, okay. So we've got a prediction out here.
Because I don't think they can make, unless someone comes in with an offer that's just too good for them to refuse. I don't really see another move that they could make right now to rapidly turn things around. And not saying that I
I'm with
think
it.
they need to.
No, I'm with it. I'm with it. Mac, your wrap up?
Yes. So for those who don't know, uh, yesterday the Rangers played the Kraken. They led the Kraken 3-1, about 5 minutes into the second period. And then they proceeded to surrender 5 unanswered goals in about a span of 15-ish minutes game time, spilling into the third period. They end up losing the game 7-5. And Laviolette after the game, this is a tweet from Athletic New York writer Peter Bow. He says Peter Laviolette was frustrated and terse post game, answered every question the same. Quote, "We had the pieces in place, and when it came down to the point it had to be defended, it got loose." And that's all he said. And for those who are following along, the Rangers are, while we're playing right now, playing the Blackhawks at Madison Square Garden, currently losing with about 2 minutes left in the second period. I think if they lose this game to the Blackhawks, by the time you're listening to this, there could be some other moves made.
Wow. Do you think Laviolette gets canned if they lose this game?
I don't know. I mean, Gallant only got what, 2 years?
Yep.
Right.
And we know the
Lease is
Laviolette
short.
method. It's like that first year he tends to do really well, and then after that,
Mhm.
it's like ooh,
Well, he doesn't have
Mhm.
Eric Gustafson, so what is he going to do?
elite NHL defender
Right.
Eric Gustafson.
Yeah.
But it's wild. I love seeing all this drama in New York unfold. It just hits a little harder when it's the boys in the blue shirts. I don't know why.
Absolutely.
Definitely. Who do you think they replace him with? Like, let's say Mac and I are quasi right, and he's the next domino to fall, and he gets fired tomorrow. Like, who do you even go with? Do you just go with one of your assistants? Do you try and bring in someone else?
Trying to think trying to think of someone who might have ties to Drury. He played for Lindy, but that's taken. He's
Well,
already
our
in
next
Buffalo.
bullet point is you talking about somebody who's a coach who needs a job. I
Right.
don't think he's going to get it, but
I don't think so.
I don't think he's gonna get it either. But yeah, to wrap that up, I don't know who would get it, Nick. I'd probably need to sit down and generate a list off the top of my head. I don't know.
Messier, 100%. Book it now.
How fucking funny. How fucking
oh
funny would
my
that be?
God.
I would die. That'd be hilarious.